Alright, so I'm out here with my brother Alex on yet another Fluke trip, and man, it has been such a grind trying to catch these fish, especially in this area in western Long Island Sound that we're in. There's just not a lot of size, and the pickings are slim, so you just really got to put the time in, and it's been tough, but we're headed out to some deeper water, and eventually we're going to find them. And I mean, there are a lot of good lessons that I think to be taken from this video, but the key is just, fishing water like this, and they're not in large numbers. The trick is to find them, and as you'll see later in the video, once you do find them, you really got to stay on them and just keep pounding the spot over and over again. So, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, you'll see me here looking at my fish finder. I'm actually looking at the maps. I know it's hard to see from the video, but there's a ledge about a mile offshore that we're headed towards that we're going to drift over. And it goes from about 30 feet down to 50 feet of water, and we're just going to start on one end of it and just keep drifting until we find the fish. Like all fish, these fluke love structure, and they're not like striped bass or bluefish. They're not swimming around hunting. They're more like opportunistic feeders. So they don't move a lot. They'll stage up in an area that they're comfortable in, where you've got current and you've got structure, and they're going to wait for bait to pass over it. So again, that's a large reason why these fish are so hard to find, because I mean you really gotta get on top of them. Hey, and before we get into the first fish, I just wanted to show you a quick picture of the rig that I'm using. It's a 1.5 ounce Pro bucktail on the bottom with a tsunami glass minnow tied as a teaser about a foot above that, and then a barrel swivel at the top, and it's using 30-pound fluorocarbon. This is the rig I use for all fluke fishing, and it's really easy to tie. If you have any questions about how to tie it, just leave a comment down below, but there's tons of YouTube videos out there on how to tie a fluke rig. So, alright, let's get into the first fish. So we started at one end of the ledge, and at this point we're about 30 minutes in, so I'm closer to the middle. And one thing to note here that's really important is that I'm giving the kayak a few kicks here and there, and that's because we've got a slow drift speed, and drift speed is so important for fluke fishing. If you're not moving, you're not going to catch the fish. I like to drift anywhere between 0.8 and 1.2 miles an hour, so you will see me kicking here and there just to give myself a little bit of movement in the direction of the current.
Fluke.
You did, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Any size?
No.
Wow, that's the first fish of its kind, though. Wow, that's sweet, dude.
Alright, so we're fishing on an 18.5-inch limit here in Long Island Sound, and that fish isn't really even close, so it's going to go back. They are going to get better, though. And you'll see me here checking out this piece of bait that the fish spit up, and it looks to be like a small piece of fish or something, so I'm going to keep using the gulp grubs on my bucktail rig. And but I will say, if that was squid, I would definitely strip out some squid and put that on the hooks instead. Alright, so here's the really big takeaway here. As soon as I caught that fish, I backed up just past where I caught it, and I'm going to do the same exact drift again, going over the same exact spot where I caught it. So here's the next drop.
Ooh,
Oh man,
that's a fluke.
that's a nice one, huh?
Maybe.
Oh yeah, I can see that shaking. Holy cow.
No net drama.
That's fucking awesome, man. That's 3 now.
I think we got a bite.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah, that's a keeper.
Is it?
Yeah. I think so.
Wow.
It's gonna get a measure anyway.
Yeah, right.
And I got a little excited there. It was only 18 inches and absolutely not a keeper, so it's gonna go back. Okay, so we've got 4 fish between the two of us now, and here's the next drop on the same spot.
Fluke.
Oh, nice. Fucking nice.
I don't know if you can hear Alex, but we haven't been on a bite like this all year, so he's pretty pumped.
Wow, huh?
So that makes a total of 6 fish that we pulled off of this ledge. That one was 17, so still no keepers. And then the bite died. We fished around here for another 30 minutes and, couldn't find anything. So we started moving back in towards some structure a little closer to shore. And I put on a high-low rig with some squid just to, find what's down there. We've got porgy around here and sea bass and just more exploratory fishing than anything, just to see if we could locate them again. And my camera died right there, so I couldn't show you that fish, but it was a porgy, which never fail to show up when you're having a hard time finding fluke in these waters. So now it's porgy fishing.
All right.
Okay, so I just dropped down a S&S blackfish porgy jig. I switched over from the high-low, and I'm still using squid, and you're about to see the fish of the day here for me.
It's gotta be foul hooked. It's coming up weird. Oh, that's not foul hooked. Jesus Christ. Oh. What?
Yeah, so I was pretty surprised here. I normally don't catch fluke on just a bottom jig with squid. And I must have dropped that right on this fish's head, because as soon as it hit bottom, he was, tapping away at it. But it was 22 inches, and it was my keeper for the day, so I'll take it. So after seeing that fluke hit that squid, I switched back over to my bucktail rig on the same spot, and instead of using gulp on my on the rig, I stripped up some squid, and I've got that on the hooks now. Yep, and the porgy are still here, but what I think is interesting to note is that as soon as I put the squid on this bucktail rig instead of the high-low or the bottom jig, they started getting bigger, so that might be something to keep in mind for future fishing.
It's a keeper. Big porgy. Monster porgy. All right. Damn. Okay. Nice.
Martha's annoying for sure. Look at that thing. What is that thing?
The sea bass.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Isn't that ridiculous? Those guys that grab that shit.
So they say you're supposed to save the best for last, so here is the smallest fish of this trip, and these guys will tend to show up this time of year, and it's just pretty funny how aggressive they are. They'll go after things that are twice their size. And the little guy got stuck in my pedal drive, so I had to take that out in order to let him swim free. If you stuck around this long, thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned as much as I did from this fishing trip. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, and if you like this video, click the like button. Thanks so much for watching.